Hey everyone, what is up? This is Tim Rose, and on this channel, my goal is always to hit my mark and to help you hit your mark on YouTube as well. I want to welcome you and say thanks so much for joining today. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications right now. Okay, so we're jumping into an awesome video today. This is a Q&A video that is going to cover a large range of topics today. But I'm excited, and as I've mentioned before, I love these videos because this gives such a good opportunity to answer your questions and to really dive into everything YouTube and YouTube related, right? And that's why we're here, because we want information that's going to help us grow. We want information that's going to help us continue to develop our own channels. And so thank you again, everybody who's taking time to ask these awesome questions. A lot of these questions as well I will be saving once I start live streaming, which is going to be coming up within the next probably 6 to 8 weeks or so. We're going to start a live stream. I'm not exactly sure yet if it's going to be totally every week, or if it's going to be maybe every second or third week to start while I get used to things. But we are going to get that up and going. And so I just want to say thank you. Please keep leaving your comments. Please keep leaving your questions. Let's keep on diving into everything. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to this to today, if this is your first time watching, we have a group on Facebook called Make Your Mark. And I only made it a week ago. And it was, or a couple weeks ago, but I didn't do anything with it. It was just a couple of us, and now, boom, in like the last few days I've had like 15 requests. So it's awesome. It's a place where people can connect and network and support each other and help each other. So these questions today come from viewers watching the videos, watching the channel, and I love your questions. It makes me so happy when I see everybody's comments and I see all of you, and I really am appreciative of that. And these questions today come from some of my longtime subscribers as well. So thank you for taking the time. I really do appreciate it. First question today is going to come from my friend Cody at Cody Makes Vids. And Cody asked the question, Cody's patient too. He's like, I've been waiting for this one. So he says, how do you make a good first impression with someone who comes to your channel? And he said, I must be lucky because YouTube keeps on sending me your video notifications right as they come out. Well, thanks, Cody. That's extremely kind of you to say. And I'm really glad that you get the notifications and that it makes you happy, man. I always appreciate seeing your comments in the videos. I really appreciate you doing that and taking the time. So your question, to get to your question, making a good first impression with someone who comes to your channel. Well, it's a super question, and we've touched on a lot of these elements in previous videos. And the nice thing is, because everything is all geared around discussing YouTube and all these related things, is that we'll be touching on these things again and again and again, right? I mean, you look at Nick Nimmin and in Nick Nimmin's channel and his live streams, right? He's talked about so many of the same things hundreds of times, but there's always new people coming in who haven't heard it before, right? So if you've heard a few of these things before and you're like, man, I've heard this before, just be patient, because there's lots of people coming in where this content could be brand new information for somebody. So be patient along the way. And if we touch on questions that have been answered before, hey, I've got no problem answering those questions again. I'm happy to. So what I would say, Cody, is really good first impression. Start with the fact that when you comment on people's videos or channels, start with your logo. That's really, and your channel name. That's really one of the first things someone would see about you if you're visiting them, right? If you have a really lackluster logo or nothing at all, and you don't create a very good impression in terms of when they decide to come and look, your channel art isn't very good, your thumbnails are very poorly designed. You know, if you're not taking the time to put into all the different elements within your page, why would you expect someone to invest that time in checking out who you are and what your content is all about? So the best things I would say, Cody, would be create a great logo. And I like your logo. I think you have a good one. Create a great logo. Come up with a channel name that is, you know, that fits you and your personality. If that's just your name, great. If it's your name plus something, like you have Cody Makes Vids, great. You know, maybe at some point you decide it's not, you know, you get more serious about your channel down the line. Maybe you decide, you know what, I want to change it to Cody Video, which is kind of nice because it's got a bit of a nice ring to it, right? Maybe it's Cody, you know, and you're switching into being a gamer, right? It's like, you know, it's tricky, but you know, figuring out those things before asking somebody or expecting somebody to give you feedback is a really good thing. And so if you want to create that good first impression, Cody, then have a really good channel art. At minimum, have a really good channel art and logo, have a good channel name, and have good thumbnails and titles for your videos. Because when people come, and I would say also design really good playlists for people, because when people come to your page and they see all this stuff, right? Let's say you have a really generic looking channel art that makes no sense and people go, oh, I don't understand what that is. And then let's say you have, you know, really poorly designed logo. It's people are like, that doesn't make sense. What is it? And then, you know, they look at your thumbnails and it's just like, you know, a webcam photo, the same shot of you, every video, like dozens and dozens of videos. People are like, I don't even know what this video is about. And then the video title is just like, you know, hey, it's me, episode 47. I mean, people are going to be like, it's not going to create a good impression at all. It makes it very convoluted, very difficult for people to navigate. And it's a big turnoff for people because they don't want to go back and watch 46 previous videos on trying to figure out who you are and what your channel is all about. So you want everything to be aesthetically pleasing. You want your designs to be, they can be simplistic, but just make them sharp looking, you know? And as we talked about in another Q&A, if you're not good at the graphical and the element design and stuff, there's lots of people you can reach out to. You can use Fiverr, you can use family members, friends, people who can help you really design some good looking stuff. And if you are good at it, then that's great. You can use that to your advantage and use your own skills to do that, Cody. So great question, my friend. I really appreciate you taking the time to ask that. Thank you so much. If you do have more questions, Cody, just make sure, or anyone, make sure you leave those comments below and drop your questions in. Everyone who leaves a question, I'm using for Q&As, and I'll be using in live streams, and everyone who does it is going to get a shout out, and they're going to get their channel mentioned in the description below as well for each video. So I'm glad to be able to do that, because it's just a way of giving back and saying thank you to each of you for taking the time to watch and leave great questions and comments. So the next question comes from my good friend Dawn over at Sensible Living with Money Mom. And Dawn's been a longtime subscriber on this channel, and a really, really nice lady. And her question is one that really, like, you could really dive into. It requires like a lot of kind of, I guess, you know, deep diving into the analytical side of things and figuring things out. But Dawn's question today says, hi, Tim. Since I have 17,000 subscribers, and congrats on that, by the way, Dawn, does that mean my videos should be getting between 17 or around 1,700 views a week, within a week? Also, is it okay to change our YouTube titles to get more views? This is after you've already uploaded. So great questions, Dawn. Super questions. And yes, I've talked about previously as well, your ratio that you want to be at for views to subscribers, right? Kind of what YouTube looks at, and then what, you know, is acceptable within your channel, what range, right? You go to like, and even big YouTubers go through this, right? You go to PewDiePie's channel and he has a video that, keep in mind, he's got like 105 or 106 million subscribers now, right? And you go to his channel and he'll have a video that might have 3 million views, and it's like 2 months old, and you're like, what gives? Like, that's like a 2.5% view ratio. And what happens is, you know, that can happen on some videos, because it could just very well be that that particular video wasn't something that people were as interested in. And then you'll have another of his videos, though, that'll get like 15 or 20 million views in like a month. And you're like, you know, whoa, that one did really well. So in terms of acceptable range, generally speaking, the algorithm will boost and favor your videos and favor your channel somewhere between the 5 to 15% range is where you want to aim for. If you're getting at least 5%, like that's average, that's okay. I mean, you'll see that on a lot of the bigger channels that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers as well. You'll see that they'll get, you know, maybe this person has 150,000 subscribers and they get, you know, 10,000 views on the video. Like, that's a good acceptable range, right? And then they'll have one once in a while that will do really, really well. You know, 5 to 15% is a good range to aim for. So I checked out your channel, Don, and you're doing really, really well on most of your videos, because a lot of your videos are getting between, within the first week or couple weeks, a lot of your videos are getting between 1,500 to 3,000 views. And you're getting that consistently. So I think you're doing great in that regard. And as we talked about as well previously, Don, there's a few things I think that could really help you boost your channel even more, because I think you had very fast growth at one time, and maybe things have kind of slowed down quite a bit at this point. But you're doing great for your view ratio, and just stick at that, keep going. And yes, your other question is excellent. Highly recommend going back in at a later time down the line. And if you weren't happy, or you just kind of put the videos out and you've learned a ton since then, and now you're creating way better titles and everything, absolutely go back and update your titles, especially on a yearly basis. If you have videos that are like best this and best that for 2019, you know, in 2020, go back and update those to 2020 in the title, right? And that will actually help keep your content more fresh, will keep it more relevant. And if you do that and use the liking strategy that I've shared in my video last year, where you go in and you unlike your video and then re-like your video, it will refresh that video in a lot of your subscribers' feeds. So it's an opportunity for maybe people who didn't see it last time to go, oh, cool, there's this video, it says 2020, right? And now people go, oh, I should check this, it's updated, it's relevant information. When you're small, that doesn't make a massive impact, right? If you've only got a few hundred subscribers, it's a small impact, but it's still a good practice to do, and it can still help you get a few extra views. But when you get to 17,000 subscribers like yourself, Don, it's a good strategy, because now you could start to potentially maybe get your video refreshed, updated, and maybe out to a couple hundred more people who didn't see it before, right? So you get those extra views, and maybe the video starts to pick up and do a little bit better. So great questions, Don. Thank you so much for sharing your questions. Any other questions you have, please drop them below. I love these questions. This is what makes these videos so fun and exciting for me, is I love diving into this stuff with you guys. And again, I want to do justice for everybody's questions. So I don't want to just answer really fast questions and go through 20 questions and people are like, well, I didn't really get the answer I was looking for. So I'm really glad to be able to dive into this stuff. And I really hope that you'll keep asking these awesome questions. And I haven't forgotten, Dawn, that you sent me an email requesting what you did with some advice on some other stuff for your channel and some other questions you had. So I will answer that email for you very soon, my friend. Next question comes from my friend DJ Jason Hooper. And Jason's a newer subscriber to my channel as well, but he's a really cool guy. He knows tons of stuff about DJing and music and wedding events and stuff like that, audio stuff. He's really good at that stuff. Jason says, Tim, you have a great engaged following here. I love it. Quick question. I'm thinking of reverting back to an older YouTube channel after reflecting on my brand and my vision going forward. I've only got a handful of subscribers at this time, so I don't think it's too bad of a situation to ditch this channel. What do you think? Is this advisable? Of course, I'll be coming over here and chatting with the community as often as possible. And that's great. First of all, thank you, Jason, for being such an engaged subscriber. Really love having people on the channel like yourself who are not only looking for information, but also looking how can I help other people. So thank you for taking the time, my friend. Your question's great. And I took a look at your old channel versus your new channel. And there's a couple of things that I just want to point out, because sometimes other people might have that question, right? They might think, well, maybe I should stick with my older channel and ditch the new one. Or maybe I should just do the new one and ditch the old one. What I would say is it depends totally on the situation. If you had 5,000 subscribers on that old channel, and it was a different channel, it was like from 8 years ago, and you'd stopped making content 4 years ago, and at this point it was like a dead channel. Like even if you uploaded a new video, you'd get like 12 views again. At that point, you're best off probably just getting rid of the old channel and starting fresh, because it's very hard to bring a dead channel back to life. You can do it, it can be done, but it's really hard to do. And the challenge is, okay, I'm creating a new channel and I'm starting over. Well, your old channel could have some old things on it, like yes, it's an established channel in terms of the algorithm standpoint. It knows what the channel is about, because the channel may, even if you didn't have tons of videos, it knows what that content was about. It's an established channel. That could, I think, be a plus to stay with. But, you know, I looked at the quality of your new videos now on your new channel versus the older videos, and your new content is like light years better than the old content. And that stands to reason, because when we start our channels, sorry, I got an itchy nose. When we start our channels, we all are complete noobs, to be honest. Most of us have no idea what we're doing. We start our channels and we're just figuring things out as we go. But after a while, you start to become really well seasoned at your content, at your channel, at your processes. So if your old channel, you had old habits and old videos and old things that, you know, weren't really that good, it can be good to make a clean break and start fresh. The other thing with a new channel is it gives you an opportunity to invite in and create in that new subscriber base that you really want to target for your channel, your niche, and your videos. So my recommendation to you, my friend, I'm pretty sure, I think I answered this for you in your comment, but I would honestly stick with your brand new channel and just do fresh. I mean, your old channel had 28 subscribers, right? And you're already almost at that on your new channel after like 6 videos. Your new video quality is way better. You are way more confident on camera. The quality of your videos has gone up significantly. Your new content is the way to go, my friend. So I would stick with the new channel, and it won't take that long for the algorithm to figure out who you are and what you're all about. It won't take that long for that channel to start to grow. And in a few months, you'll be way past the old channel anyways. And I think if you had gone with the old channel and started your new content and mixing things in, you know, I think people might see some of those older videos and be a little turned off by it. So I say, my friend, stick with the new format. I think that's going to work out really well for you. And next question comes from my friend Drawing Technical. And Drawing Technical has been a subscriber of mine for a long time as well. I think almost a year. So thank you for the question, my friend. And you basically just kind of had like a wow question. Basically, Drawing says, whoa, have you got a new camera? I'm loving the visual quality and the backdrop setup. And first of all, thanks so much for the compliment, my friend. I really appreciate that very much. And yes, just quick answer, I have a brand new camera. I went with the Sony ZV-1. It is a phenomenal camera for content creators. Down the line, I'd love to make a few videos on my studio and on my setup and on all the things that I have and use. And I will talk about the camera more as well. I can dive into some of the features, but it's really a camera designed for content creators just like myself and yourself. It's got so many cool modes and shooting modes. The bokeh is amazing. You can push a button and defocus the background. Because my room is fairly small in here, I can't really utilize that the best because my depth of field is so shallow in here. My room isn't very wide. So it doesn't let me really get the full effect of that like you'll see in some other channels. But at some point, it would be really cool to have a bigger room and an opportunity to really create that space in the background where you're going to see that beautiful blurred out background. Yes, the new camera is amazing. The new audio is really good. I know that a few people were having issues hearing my audio. I spent so much time figuring out the audio part of it. It was driving me nuts. And then I thought I had it in a spot where it was good, and most people seemed to say it was fine, but then I had 5 or 6 people who said they were having a hard time hearing it, and could I take a look and figure that out? So I tinkered around some more, and I believe now I have the audio setting in the correct position for the camera, plus the Rode Wireless Go setup. So please let me know in the comments if the audio sounds good to you and there's no issues. If everyone can hear me now consistently, that's what I want. So thanks for the question, my friend. I really appreciate that very much. And next question comes from my friend Glorious Tech. And Glorious Tech has been probably one of my most consistent commenters all the way along my whole channel. He joined my channel back when I was like just starting, like I was very tiny. I think he was well before I hit 100 subscribers. So Glorious, thank you, my friend. I really appreciate your constant support and just what a cool guy you are. And Glorious has his own tech channel. Check him out. He's got some pretty cool stuff. And he really is a good guy. And I again, like, I just am so thankful for people like all of you. I mean, each and every one of you who makes this channel successful. And I just am so excited to keep diving into these things and seeing what happens and where we go. So Glorious asked the question. He says, great video, Tim. I love your work. Thank you again, my friend. Question, I have almost 2,500 subscribers, but I only get about 100 views or so for each video. I even asked my subscribers what I should make next, but no one seemed to reply. What do you think I should do? Well, it's a toughie, Glorious. Basically, like, you're creating value for your subscribers, and I believe you're doing that. In terms of engagement, and I don't know because I haven't gone through all of your videos. I don't know exactly how you handle comments and answering comments. But first of all, when someone comments, 100% of the time when we're small YouTubers like this, answer every comment. And one thing that I find helps generate discussions with people is to ask questions back as well. And that helps create a discussion with people. One thing I'd do for you is if you're reaching out and you're using the commenting method, reach out to people on tech and tech tip channels, people looking for information on the same things that you're covering. Because if they're interested in those videos and they're leaving good comments on other people's channels, there's a good chance that they're going to be people who be interested in you, and they'll come and generate really good responses and replies to you that way. For you, since you have over 1,000 subscribers, you can use your community tab. I'd highly recommend you use that and create a poll. Don't just ask the question and say, you know, because I find what happens with the community tab, it's awesome. If you just have a generic post, you'll be lucky if you get a couple comments, when even with like a few thousand subscribers. You'll be lucky if you get a couple comments. But if you create a poll where people can actually answer one of, like, say 3 or 5 different topics, or they can choose what they want to see, a lot of times with that you'll get, like, you know, 20 or 30 or 40 responses, plus you'll then get 15 or 20 comments as well. And that can generate some discussion and give you some ideas. You could also look at, could I create another video style that is something similar to like I'm doing, where maybe it's not just me doing my regular video, but maybe it's an opportunity. Maybe I sit down, and even if you have like 5 or 10 people who are commenting and actually really engaged on every video, it could be a good place to start, right? Maybe you could ask more questions in your videos, tell people more in your videos to leave comments, ask them for their thoughts and questions. Create a group, for a tech group on Facebook, for people to reach out for technical help from you or something like that. There's lots and lots of things you can do, my friend. Lots of ways that you can really start to work on developing those angles. And it's not easy, and it takes time. It takes a lot of time, but you know, keep on engaging in this community. Keep on visiting people within this community as well, and join our group on Facebook. We're gonna keep growing that. It's totally free. There's, you know, that's not, you know, I'm not doing that for any sort of angle or personal gain. Like, it's just to help people. So that's what, as small YouTubers, what we should constantly be about, is helping people and providing valuable information. And I truly believe that down the line, that's going to come back to you with the financial and the benefits and the rewards that come from that way down the line. So, great question, my friend. Thank you so much for taking the time to ask that, and thank you to everybody today for taking the time to watch this video. I am, again, super grateful, super thankful for every person who's taking the time to watch these videos. Make sure that you leave all of your comments below. Make sure that you leave your thoughts. Let's keep generating discussions. Join us on the Facebook group, Make Your Mark, and let's keep on building this community and growing this community and helping each other. And again, I'm going to be probably in another 6 weeks or so doing my first live stream. So kind of gear yourselves up for that coming up as well. There's been a lot of interest from people on that. I'm hoping for the first live stream we can get 30 or 40 people in there, which would create some amazing discussion. Questions, you can bring your questions. It'll all be live. Shout outs for everybody. And so thank you to everybody. I'll look really forward to your upcoming questions. Look really forward to seeing all of you in every video. And let's keep on building this together. Let's keep on building this community. Let's keep on growing together. So thank you so much, and I'll see all of you in the next video.